Hola teachers, I'm here to show you how EL Literacy can help your students improve their oral reading fluency and pronunciation. So the very first thing you need to do is create an account with EL Literacy. You can sign up using Google's single sign-on or your own email address. Once you log in, you won't see any classes created. These are classes that I have already created for this demo account. So the very first thing that you need to do is to create a class for your students or multiple classes if you have multiple groups of students. So you go here where it says add class, type in a class name, a description if you wish, and then the grade level for that class. Then you click on add. This will provide you with a code that you will then share with your students. So you will guide your students in signing up with a student account on EL Literacy. Theirs is completely free, and all they need is this code here to join your class. As you can see here, I don't have any students in this class as I just created it. So for the purpose of this demo, we're gonna use this demo English class where I already have one student signed in. And the next thing you need to do is add items to your library. We have 4 different types of items. One is lists, the other one is passages, the other one is ORF practices, which is pretty much the same as passages, and ORF tests or assessments that are also in the form of a passage, but they serve a different purpose. Now let's see the type of assignments for you to allow your students to improve their oral reading fluency, their pronunciation, and their spelling. So we have a reading list assignments where students get a list of either words or sentences that you want them to practice reading out loud. The second assignment is dictations, where you can have the exact same list that you previously assigned your students or create new ones for them to practice spelling, whether these are words or complete sentences. The next assignment is read alouds. These are basically passages that you want your students to listen to and then read out loud to the program. When they read aloud, they will receive immediate guidance from the program. Whenever they encounter a word that they don't know how to pronounce, they can click on the word and the program will tell them how to read it. They will also get immediate feedback. As soon as they're done with recording their passage, they will get the number of words that they read correctly and the time they spent reading that passage. The next assignment is simply a read along. Basically, students just listen to a passage that you want them to listen to. ORF practice is pretty much like a read aloud. The only difference is that this is timed readings, and they do the same reading 5 times, 5 different times, once per day. ORF tests are actually provided for you. These are grade level passages from 1st through 9th grade. The purpose of this is to assess and progress monitor how well students are improving throughout the year in their oral reading fluency. Like I said, these passages are already provided for you, but if you don't find them appropriate for your curriculum, you are welcome to just edit them, delete them, and add new ones. Okay, so now let me show you how to add to the library. So let's say your goal is to have students do a reading list or a dictation. That means you have to add a list. These 2 assignments go along with a list. So let's say I want to create a list. Let's say past tense verbs. In here you enter the author or the source if you are using material from another curriculum, the topic in order to sort all of your library items more easily, and then the instructional reading level, meaning what grade level is this material recommended for. So let's just use a few of the past tense verbs that my students struggle with, and that's regular verbs. So I'm going to have them practice watch, watched, work, worked, discover, discovered, paint, painted, smile, smiled. My students have a hard time pronouncing these past tense or the ed endings in the verbs. So once you have made up your list, again, this can be a list of simple sentences or words, like in this case, you save it. Now that you have created this item, you can go and add that list as an assignment. You can either assign it as a reading list or as a dictation or both. I usually like to do both. So let's say I want to assign it as a reading list. So I click on reading list. Now I have to, in order to sort all of the items that you store in your library, I hope you remember what grade level that was. And as you can see, I have 3 items for recommended for 8th grade. And here is the item that I just created. Now you click on allowed attempts. How many times do you want your students to read this list of verbs? The recommendation is maybe 2 or 3 times max, but you can always do more than that. So let's say 3 times. Then if you have multiple classes, you assign it to the class or classes that you want to give this assignment to. Remember, we are using the demo English class because I already have 1 student enrolled in it, and we can then see how it works on the student end. Or you can also, if you have multiple students, this is a great way to differentiate your instruction. You can assign specific assignments to different students or the whole class. And then when you want a student to finish this assignment by, when you want to publish it, or when you want the student to be able to see it. I usually just keep these dates untouched, and then you click add. As I mentioned before, you can have students do that same list as a dictation assignment. So now I have to click on dictation, do the same thing, click on the IRL level that I assigned that list or passage to. Here it is, past tense. I'm going to have them do it 3 times as well. And then I'm going to assign it to my English demo class. I'm going to leave this untouched and then just click on add. Now let's say I want them to read a passage. So you go here to add library, go to passage. I'm going to upload the passage or copy and paste the passage. A Mountain Rescue is the title. And I got this from a textbook, Banner in the Sky by James Ramsey Ullman. I'm not going to enter the topic, and this is for my 8th graders. And in this box, you can either type up the passage or copy and paste from your source. Control V. If you have uploaded the passage by taking a picture of it and then uploading it to the program for it to convert it into text, you need to make sure that the formatting is right because the text tends to get distorted. So you need to make sure that it makes sense, maybe skim through, make sure that the text matches the original, and once you have done that, you click on save. Now let's say you also want to give them an assignment on oral reading fluency practice. Remember, an oral reading fluency practice is the same thing as a read aloud, only it is timed and students need to read the same passage 5 different times. Our program does offer you some passages already. All you have to do is their grade level. So let's say I want them to practice 4th grade. Most of my students, even though they are 8th graders, they're reading at a 4th grade level because they are English language learners. So I'm just going to pick one, say A New Home. By default, they're going to have to read this passage 5 different times, 5 different days. I'm going to assign it to Demo English class, and I'm going to add it. Now we're going to go back into the student account, and we're going to see how these are used in the student account. Okay, now for your students, what they need to do is go to eLiteracy.com and register, sign up. They click on sign up, then they need to click on student. And the easiest way would be for them to sign up with Google. Otherwise, they're going to have to know their email addresses to remember them, and then enter a password, confirm the password, and fill all of this in, which is sometimes with students a little challenging. So I recommend that if possible that they sign up with Google. Now I already have a student demo account, so I'm gonna enter that email for my student demo account. Here it is. Once the students know their email address and their password for their eLiteracy account, they just log in. And they're gonna see all of the classes that they are enrolled in. They click on view. And now they're gonna see all of their assignments that they have. As you can see, this student has a lot of assignments to work on. And each one of these icons represents the type of assignment. The microphone means read aloud. That means they're gonna listen to a passage and then they're gonna have to record that passage, read that passage out loud and record themselves. This one is not timed. The ABC logo stands for dictation. In this case, they're gonna see a list of words or sentences. They're gonna listen to them and then they're gonna have to type in the space. This icon here represents a reading list. In this case, they're gonna see a list of words or sentences and they're going to have to read those words out loud. And this one here is the ORF practice. The passage that is that they're gonna have to listen to and read out loud in 1 minute. And they can only do this once per day. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of each one of them. We're gonna start with this little read aloud here. And all they have to do is click on the orange button. So again, here is the passage. It is recommended that the passages aren't that long, no more than 200 words. As you can see here, the word count is 141. That should take less than a minute. This is actually a very short passage. It can be longer, but about 2 to 250 words it's recommended. You don't want to have students reading from a screen for longer than a couple of minutes. So again, we're gonna click here.
My name is Ben and I am 10. I go to Wester Penn Elementary. Let me tell you about myself. I have many pets. One of them is a hen. Her name is Peg. Peg is red but has 7 yellow feathers on her head. Jen likes to peck for worms when the ground is wet. I check on Jen every day. I get her eggs and then I take her to my bedroom. I get my textbook to study for my test about cells. I put Peg in a tent I set up for her, next to my toy chest and my bed. When Jen wants to play, she pecks my leg. I love having a pet hen. At first, I wanted an elephant pet. Then, I learned a hen is best. Have you ever met someone who has a hen for a pet?
So once students have listened to the passage, they can now review the words before they start recording. They can click on specific words that they aren't sure about. So now they can click on specific words that they want to review before reading the passage aloud.
Elementary. Pen. Peck. Check.
Check. And then they click on record and start recording. They can make the text bigger or smaller and start recording. My name is Ben and I am 10. I go to
Wester
Penn
Penn
Elementary. Let me tell you about myself. I have many
pets.
One of them is a hen.
Hen.
Her name is Peg. Peg is red but has 7 yellow
Feathers
on her head. Jen likes to peck for worms when the ground is wet. I check on Jen every day. I get her eggs and then I take her to my bedroom. I get my textbook to study for my test about cells. I put Peg in a tent I set up for her next to my toy chest and my bed. When Jen wants to play, she pecks my leg. I love having a pet hen. At first, I wanted an elephant pet. Then I learned a hen is best. Have you ever met someone who has a hen for a pet? And in here you can see how many words they can see how many words they read correctly. out of how many words in total, the percent, and the words that they missed.
Wester.
Wester,
Penn.
Penn.
Elementary.
They can study, they can review those words, they can also see the transcript of what they read and listen to themselves.
My name is Ben, and I am 10. I go to...
They can also check their progress, see how well they've done. Here is the short decodable and how many words they read correctly and so forth. Now let's practice with a different type of assignment. Let's do the a dictation. Let's do the past tense dictation. So this one they have to do 3 times. So they listen to the word or sentence.
Watch.
They can only listen to each word twice.
Watched. Work. Work.
They can only listen to the words twice.
Worked. Worked.
I made a mistake here. It tells me what I was supposed to type. And then they submit the assignment. And again, the program tells them how many words they spelled correctly. Well, I hope this demo helps you a little bit understanding how EL literacy can help your students improve their oral reading fluency and their spelling and pronunciation. Please don't hesitate to let me know if you need any further assistance. I'll be happy to support you through live demo. We can get on a Zoom call. I'll be happy to walk you through the site and answer any questions you may have. Thank you and have a wonderful day.